Okay, I think we're live. I'm pretty sure. Zephyr Hash, nice to see you. Weather machines aren't real, but they had cloud seeding technology back in the 80s. Imagine what they have now. Do you know how effective cloud seeding technology is? Not very. It's not very good. It's, in fact, pretty poor. They've tried many times to kind of perfect it, and there's been claims that it's really good in certain instances. But those are very niche instances, and cloud seeding, cloud seeding is just not. The results are mixed at best. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it though. Zephyr Hash says, so we've been spending thousands of dollars on bad technology? Yes. Wolfglen99 says, yep, the big bad climate change machine. Check notes. Never mind. Thousands? That's more zeros than I can count. Well, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys. Welcome to the show. Today, I'm exposing Kamala Harris's dark plot to use the blood of Trump's supporters in dark rituals under the Washington Monument, in the black chambers of chaos, buried deep, deep in the earth, closer to hell, so that they can channel the powers more easily, right? The Washington Monument acts as a focal point, if you will, a lightning rod, a magnet, as well as a place to disperse and direct this satanic power, okay? She and her acolytes, as we speak, right? As we speak, are engaged in these dark rituals, using these satanic powers to summon and channel the chaos storm. Ask yourself, when's the last time you've seen a hurricane go from a Category 1 to a Category 5 that quickly? In that precise location, on that precise trajectory. Is it a coincidence that the areas that are in the path of this devastating, dare I say, a natural storm? Is it coincidence that Florida went for Trump last time? Is it just a coincidence? No, that beggars belief. I cannot suspend my disbelief that much. It beggars belief. No. These dark forces cannot be happenstance, cannot be coincidence. There is a mind behind these dark, unnatural storm fronts that are threatening our God-fearing southern states in real America, okay? It saddens me to say, but I've been living a lie, okay? I've been living a lie. I've been supporting these Satan worshipers too long, and it's time I came clean, okay? I've been privy to secret information that I'm now sharing with you today on my stream, okay? Helene, is it any coincidence that it's been so disruptive in the southern states? Right? How are they supposed to hold a free and fair election when they are so devastated by this storm? They can't get the proper necessities they need. And that is by design. That is by design, dear viewer. Okay. These dark, twisted forces that claim to be Democrats, but are really, in fact, Demoncrats, okay? They have captured many loyal Trump supporters and are currently imprisoning them and draining their blood. The January 6th patriots that tried to stop this, right, and have been arrested. When's the last time you heard from them? It's been a while, huh? That's because they're in the secret facilities built underneath the deep state. You know why they call it the deep state? Because it's deep underground, okay? Everything makes sense for those. let he who has eyes see, let he who has ears hear. Okay? They don't hide this. This is cryptic for a reason. So those who are ignorant, who are lost in darkness, will not think anything of it, that their minds are clouded by the 5G network that we've installed, right? The technologies that we've thrown at you to distract you. Okay? No, 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 dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers. Okay? This is all part of the grand plan to take away your freedom, because you are no use if you can question their rule. They want cogs for their machine. Cogs for their machine. And $5 from true American patriot Zephyr Hash. Ask yourself, why are there no hurricanes in Florida before Obama? Oh, by all means, there were hurricanes. At that time, God was warning us. God was warning us not to go down the path. It is sad that we did not listen. We are in a battle for the soul of America, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The soul of America. On the one hand, we have the forces of light, Trump, right? Trump and his paladins who have fought long and hard on your behalf, dear viewer, right? Who have been demonized, lied about, They brought him up on false, cryptic charges that none can understand. No. None can understand, right? If you try to read these charges as a plain, God-fearing man would read them, you will be befuddled. Your mind would be cast into a cloud of confusion. This is because these indictments, written into these indictments, are confusion spells designed by their dark mages that they call lawyers, okay? Lawyers, in order to conduct their lawfare. Their Byzantine, Kafkaesque spells woven into the texts of these darkest of conjurations. And what is more, knowing that the power of God is more powerful than Kamala can ever, and her Satan worshippers can ever understand, right? Helene, their first attempt at summoning a storm to disrupt the election, right? To steal it from the God-fearing Americans. It failed. But these purveyors of falsehood and lies have sent in the FEMA assassin squads to finish off what this power of the satanic storm could not. The FEMA assassins have struck at the heart of God-fearing Americans. But stay strong, brothers and sisters. Do not accept their tainted goods and their tainted monies. Okay? This is the mark of the beast spoken of in Revelations. These contracts. Remember, dear viewers, woven into these contracts are spells of befuddlement. Okay? So that none can understand. If you accept their dark money, you will be corrupted and tainted and not shielded from the wrath to come. Because this battle is far from over. No, nay, this is but an opening salvo. Okay, an opening salvo to a much bigger confrontation. The second shot from their despoiled, despicable book of spells and occultist warlock powers is the hurricane now pointed so ominously at Florida. DeSantis, the God-fearing man he is, right? One of Trump's loyal soldiers. But not so loyal. No. If you recall, back in the primaries, he succumbed to a momentary weakness and went against God's chosen one, Trump. And for that, God has allowed him to face this test, right? This test. See, the only reason that Kamala can summon these powers, the only reason that she can summon these dark forces at all to begin with against Florida is because he dared. He dared go against God's word. And he challenged Trump in the primary. Sin. None of us are free from it. None of us. And because of this, God has allowed, in his infinite wisdom, unknowable wisdom, his majesty and his mystery, for Kamala and her Satan worshippers to send the storm Milton. Again, dear brothers and sisters, I ask you, look at this storm. Look at this storm. Have you seen the like? Nay. Nay. They say that in its eye, which is smaller than has ever been, there are thousands of lightning strikes a minute, with a sound to deafen all who may hear. And each lightning strike is said to utter one of the foul curses brought up. The foul curses being tweets against Trump. Any tweet that has ever been uttered against the chosen one is being amplified by their dark power, okay, into this cacophony of sound and blinding witch light in order to try to overcome our faith. It's too much. It's too much. I don't know. Sometimes I doubt, brothers and sisters. Sometimes I doubt how we can overcome this. Many of the faithful flee. Many of the faithful flee, and well they should. Mark ye well the words of our prophet. The evacuation orders issued by DeSantis, the desanctified, right? They are holy writ that you should obey without question. And just flee, flee, flee. May God lend your feet strength. Fleet of foot. Fly, ye fools, from what is to come. $5 from Zephyr Hash. And thank you, brother, for the money, which, again, for each donation that you give, your sins shall be forgiven in relation to the amount that you send. $5 is enough for a minor sin, okay? So anytime you've ever doubted Trump, $5 will pardon you. $5 to Wick. I cannot hide my light under a bushel, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot anymore. I am not like the foolish servant who buried his talent. No. But I must invest my talent. I must let my light shine and declare to you that I have been chosen as a prophet, as a harbinger of what is to come, the glorious reign of Trump upon this earth. And I must warn you, dear brothers and sisters, of the foolish tricks of the enemy, because I have infiltrated their ranks. God protected me. He gave me a veil to wear. My beard. He, much like Samson in the Bible, right? He has empowered it. He's empowered it. And as long as I carry this beard, they cannot see the truth. Even now, they think my words are but jest. They think I am engaging in satire. And they laugh to themselves. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. And this is because God protects me, right? So that they who have ears can hear. Those who are subject and are studious students of God's mysteries can understand the truth of my words. But let me show you, I am not the only prophet. Many have come before me. Let us view many who have spoken of this, right? Who have tried to warn the world. Who've tried to warn the world of what is to come. Let us look, let us view, and gaze upon these martyrs, if you will, that have been ridiculed by the world. This from Real Raw News. And it is indeed real. And it is indeed raw, ladies and gentlemen. On October 7th, yesterday, they spoke. And pay no attention to the reader notes. These are added by Satan himself to confuse and befuddle the mind. Okay. Real Raw News says, we have spoken to a Marine sniper who reportedly now has 5 confirmed FEMA kills in North Carolina. He has told us it is the fight of our lives. FEMA, even now, the faithful rise up against the FEMA assassin squad sent by Kamala and her satanic overlords. Okay? Even now, there is a battle raging on those sacred, real American southern states that have been touched by these satanic storms. The faithful, again, none, not even a storm as powerful as those summoned by satanic Kamala, can stand against the faithful. And these brave soldiers are fighting currently now against the FEMA armies that have been sent against them. FEMA, right? They hide their satanic ways in acronyms. FEMA, faithless, eunuch, militia assassins. That's what FEMA stands for. Faithless, eunuch, militia assassins. They hide it in plain sight. They hide it in plain sight. Okay? This grand prophet, this martyr, Real Raw News. He is exposed much. Have you ever heard of robot mosquitoes? Well, we are hearing from tales from storm survivors who have allegedly been attacked by swarms of metal yellow jackets. And we have no real proof at this time to support this claim. We're just mentioning it. Again, trust that which the prophets say. Again, let's go into the book of Revelations, brothers and sisters. The book of Revelation speak of this. Let me get it up. And in the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and air were darkened by reasons of the smoke of the pit. Remember the dark clouds that we've seen from these storm fronts and the hurricanes? Yes, the dark clouds that have billowed and blotted out the sun. Yes, it is spoken of in the book. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power like electricity like robots use. It becomes clearer by the day. As the scorpions of the earth have power. Ladies and gentlemen, all has been prophesied. All has been exposed. They cannot hide behind their lies. We know. We can see their dark powers. And it's not only me. And it's not only him. Let's read from Holy Brother Health Ranger. Okay. A ranger for the health of the faithful. Incoming intel. FEMA is waving ungodly amounts of money at private security firms right now. Because again, the faithful are too strong for these godless assassins. Okay? And FEMA is trying to use the forces of Mammon, the filthy lucre of the enemy, to tempt private security firms. Okay? So they're begging for security contractors to station at Florida to prevent Floridians returning to their homes and businesses after the storm hits. The evacuation orders are to push people out of Florida and keep them out. Reportedly, Delta Force personnel advising FEMA at the top, devising denial of area enforcement plans, which will be enforced at gunpoint if required. I'm told FEMA is practically panicked to get enough armed personnel on site, anticipating a tremendous amount of resistance from displaced people who want to return home and salvage what they can. This is the next step up the escalation ladder as the federal government wages war against the American people, as we saw FEMA carrying out in North Carolina, actively hindering rescue efforts to maximize starvation and death. To the people, do not escalate. Hold your ground peacefully and firmly. This looks like a lot like J6-style trap to provoke an insurrection and declare martial law, to cancel the election. Don't play into their hands. true American patriots. 9,000 of our brothers and sisters. 9,000 of our brothers and sisters. I haven't liked it because, again, I'm going incognito. I have been tasked with a special infiltration mission, okay? So I have to go incognito. But do not worry and do not fear, brothers and sisters. My beard veils their eyes. They think this is satire. They think I'm joking. But the last laugh will be on them, dear brothers and sisters. Again, 9,000 of the faithful have liked this. We know it's true. Can 9,000 true American patriots be wrong? I say nay. I say nay. Matt Wallace. Developing. Hurricane Milton just exploded in intensity not long after the data collection plane flew through it. The data collection plane, the plane where they conducted more of their dark, filthy rituals, throwing in innocent sacrifices to the eye of the storm to grant it power, okay? An already extraordinary amount of lightning in the eye wall seems to have nearly doubled. This level of lightning will cause a deafening sound and could strike down thousands of trees upon landfall. Remember, brothers and sisters, the tree is a useful tool for the faithful to build their homes, right? To build the crosses to showcase their faith. What are the chances of 2 freak storms right before an election? My model shows more may be coming too. This footage proves everything. And please share it quickly before they take it down again. Because again, the forces of satanic Kamala are always trying to silence our voices. Okay? Rationality and reason are the light of God and the tools of God. And again, I ask you, two storms? One might be mere coincidence. But God speaks in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. And this is the second witness. All things will be as God wishes them to be. Brothers and sisters, heed my words and look to the sky and look to the signs given. All things work to the glory of God. These FEMA assassins, these faithless eunuch militia assassins, will not triumph against the faithful. Stand strong. Stand strong, my brothers and sisters. Stand strong. Ariel, another faithful servant of Trump, of the chosen one. Danger level red. That's the highest danger level for those of you who are not versed. Okay. We are about to witness a very catastrophic storm that is on the verge of doing more damage than Helen in North Carolina. We can say it's political. We can say it's financial. We can say it's economic. But one thing that creates these storms is that it clogs up the airwaves. Indeed. Even now, these storms threaten to silence voices like mine all across Florida. How will they tune in to know the truth? How will they tune in to know the truth? The perfidious nature of these dark magics, okay? They're going to clog up the airwaves. That's what hurricanes do. And it sort of buys time for another game plan the deep state hopes deter other things for exposing the corruption, or at least delay it long enough. Because, dear brothers and sisters, they know that their time is allotted. They know it grows close, that the hour of the victory of Trump draws nigh. And so they are getting more desperate by the day. More desperate. And so their lies can be exposed. Dear brothers and sisters. But all this will be for nothing, because the end of this already is set in stone. If Kamala Harris was winning this election, there would be no need for this to occur. Just look at the direction the hurricane came from, which is unheard of. That's what I've been saying, brothers and sisters. You have so many people with nowhere to go. The traffic alone will have them taking hours to get somewhere that usually takes 15 to 20 minutes. Not to mention all of the gas stations have run out of fuel. So we can definitely expect a lot of lives to be lost. 5,000 of my brothers and sisters have spread this message. 5,000, over 5,000 now. The faithful are out there. Fear not. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Dear brothers and sisters. And you think that these gas stations are running out of fuel as a coincidence? Please. Please. They think you're stupid. They think that you cannot reason. That you think that it's just a coincidence. That when millions are trying to flee from these satanic storms, that the gas just magically runs out? No, 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 brothers and sisters. This is just another weapon in their arsenal to starve us out. Right? This is more evidence of their satanic plot. Their satanic plot. Okay? It's the only way. It's the only way it could have happened. Nothing else makes sense. Dear brothers and sisters, nothing else makes sense. Is it not crystal clear? Is it not crystal clear? Of course it is. Of course. Let us continue. Let us continue. Many are waking up because God is merciful. God is merciful. Many denied before, but as these signs pile up, and as our dear leader Trump, praise be his name, forever and ever, amen. Right? Forever and ever, amen. Yeah. As our dear leader Trump gets closer to his inevitable victory, which will happen as long as we do not allow them to steal it from us. More and more are waking up to the dastardly plots. The dastardly plots of these dark forces. They are summoning storms with dark magics. That is the only answer here. Nothing else makes sense. Would it make sense, right? Otherwise, why would the sanctified DeSantis wait so long to accept Biden's calls if he didn't know that they were practicing occult magics? Of course he waited. He didn't want to be tainted by the sounds of their chaotic voices. No. He didn't, why would he ever cooperate with the FEMA assassins, okay? Why would he ever coordinate this? No, of course not. Who are you going to believe here, okay? Are you going to believe the deep state and their lies? Or are you going to believe Trump's loyalist soldiers? Trump's strongest supporters in Florida? A state that has gone reliably for Trump for the last few elections and will, Trump willing, go again. Despite these insane, insidious, dark, chaotic plots of Kamala. You ask cognitive dissonance, was it the Haitians or was it indigenous people doing a rain dance again? No. Something even worse. Beneath the Washington Monument, and I'm telling you that I know this. I know this for a fact. Okay. Of course I don't have evidence. Do you think that if this was something that was real, that I would have evidence? No. The fact that this corruption extends up to the highest levels means that there will be no evidence. But you can trust me because I will tell you the truth. Look and listen to your heart. You know it's true. You know it's true. It confirms all your suspicions. You've always suspected. You've always suspected that there was something going on. There were things about the government you just didn't understand. Why would they act that way? It doesn't make sense. But dear brothers and sisters, once you know the truth, it all makes sense. Once you know the real truth, it all makes sense. Again, beneath the Washington Monument and tunnels, much like their heroes, Hamas, right? They have dug tunnels all throughout beneath, okay? With Israel money, to be clear. Israel has helped fund this, okay? They've dug tunnels beneath the Washington Monument, beneath Congress, beneath the Senate, okay? Beneath the White House, where those who have been privy, who have been inducted into the satanic cult that runs our country, or tries to run our country until Trump had the the grace. By the grace of God, the chosen one, Trump, was able to expose their wickedness. Okay. Trump himself, right, exposed all this. But still, many disbelieve. Many doubt because of the wickedness in America. None can say that these Satan worshippers aren't clever in their little dark ways. In these tunnels, right, in these tunnels are chambers lit by propane and propane accessories. Okay. Lit using our tools against us, right? Lit dimly and chained to the walls are the January 6th patriots who were illegally and, dare I say, insidiously captured, where lawfare was wielded against them. They are held captive in these chambers, dark chambers, beneath the Washington Monument. Their blood is slowly being drained to power and fuel these dark sorceries. Kamala herself drinks their blood. Okay, Biden, do you know why? Right? Do you know why that they're trying to overthrow Biden, right? That they got Biden out of the way? It's because he had been drinking the blood for so long that he gained a sort of immunity to it. It was no longer as effective. They needed more and more blood to sustain him. It just wasn't economically viable. So instead, Kamala, who has tasted much less of this, is now being gorged on the blood of these patriots in order to power her dark spells. AOC leads the chants, okay? These chaotic chants, right? Where they gather their powers, their mysterious powers. These powers are channeled up through the Washington Monument, which again, many patriots and the bones of patriots have been corrupted and inserted into them, and they disperse through the air, right? In order to strengthen the hurricane that has been summoned, we sent data collecting flights. Yeah. Data collecting flights. Why would we need them when we have satellites? Makes no sense, right? Data collecting flights go and sail through the storm, and they drop, right? They drop in the droplets of the corrupted patriot blood, which strengthens the storm. It turns it into a fury, which has been churned and directed at the God-fearing southern states, the real America. Okay. Telling you, brothers and sisters, this is all true. It makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Many will call you crazy if you believe these things. Many will say that you are simply, they call it a conspiracy theory. They call it misinformation. Brothers and sisters, I'll tell you what the real misinformation is. The real misinformation is that Trump lost in 2020. That's the real misinformation. Okay. Everyone knows that God's chosen one could never lose. Could never lose. They had to have stolen it. They had to have used their lies, right? Their lies and corruptions. They'll call it a work of fiction. They will call this satire. That is the cope, brothers and sisters. That is what they will excuse this as. But would a true American patriot lie to you? One who has a true American flag with, again, all 50 stars. All 50. Not just the evil satanic stars of non-patriotic flags, but the true flags. Okay. The true American patriotic flags. Again, have storms ever been this intense before? No. No. Can you remember summer so hot or winter so cold? No. Think back, brothers and sisters, dear viewers. Think back. Were you not happier when you had no responsibilities, right? When you were cared for by your one One man, one woman, a family, right? You remember? You remember? Okay. What could have gone wrong? Surely it wasn't anything you've done. You've stayed faithful. You have. It was those evil Democrats legalizing gay marriage with their abortions. Equity. What does DEI stand for? Isn't just another acronym for die. They hide these things in plain sight. They think you're stupid. But you are not stupid. No, you can see through their lies. Dear brothers and sisters, you can see through their lies. Let us look what the Communist News Network has to say. The commies, what is their propaganda? We must understand our enemy. Do not look too long into it, however. Do not look too long lest you become corrupted. Only I, who have been practiced, trained, and specially sanctioned and blessed by the elders of Trump, okay, can look on these words for any length of time and be free of corruption. You, dear viewer, you must go through me, right? You must go through me. See what they have to say. Let's adjust it. Boop, boop. Milton re-strengthens into a rare Category 5 hurricane. Rare. Again, is it coincidence? You decide. There's too many coincidences here. Again, how often is there a Category 5 storm? Not often. How often is it just before an election? Even less. When's the last election that you can think of that was threatened by a hurricane? I can't think of one. I can't think of one. Mass exodus is underway along Florida's Gulf Coast as forecasters warn of storms' potential devastation. This is a scare tactic. This is a scare tactic that they're using. They're flaunting their power, dear brothers and sisters. And see as it gets closer to the grace of God's chosen land, where Mar-a-Lago, the temple of Trump, rests. Even Satan's power will grow weaker and weaker. It will still do much damage, but stay faithful, brothers and sisters. Tampa, that den of sin and iniquity. Camp Coral, again. They must have sinned and fallen short of the glory of Trump. Devastation. Devastation and ruin. The challenges Floridians are facing while trying to evacuate. Driving on highway shoulders, gas shortages, and booked up hotels. Do you think this is coincidence? No, brothers and sisters, this is by design. There are some of the complications Floridians are facing as they make and execute plans to leave their homes under the largest evacuation order they've ever seen since 2017. They're bracing for Hurricane Milton less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene pummeled Florida's Big Bend as a Category 4 storm, leaving at least 20 dead in the States, with officials warning Milton's impact could be even more severe and far-reaching. I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of these evacuation areas, you're going to die. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor told CNN's Caitlin Collins Monday, strongly urging residents to heed the warnings before it's too late. The state's Division of Emergency Management is preparing for the largest evacuation since 2017, Director Kevin Guthrie said Sunday at a news conference with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who declared a state emergency for 51 of the state's 67 counties. As if residents don't have enough to worry about as they try to evacuate, the National Weather Service office in Miami warned scattered tornadoes might hinder those emergency plans. Several places may experience tornado damage, with a few spots of considerable damage, power loss, and communication failures. Highway shoulder opens for evacuees. To help facilitate evacuations, people using interstate highways to flee can use a left shoulder lane to keep traffic moving. The Florida Department of Transportation announced on Monday a move that's typically reserved only for emergencies such as hurricanes. To help facilitate evacuations, emergency shoulder use plans are actively being put in place for eastbound I-4 and portions of northbound I-75, the Florida Department of Transportation said in a post on X. The traffic flow changes are also meant to ensure that supplies, emergency services, and utility crews can get to areas potentially impacted by the storm. Law enforcement and signage will alert motorists on when to enter and exit the shoulder, the agency added. Florida is also waiving tolls on Veterans Expressway and Suncoast Parkway, two parts of a state road that extends north from Tampa, so they can be used as evacuation routes, DeSantis said Tuesday. The Department of Transportation is monitoring traffic conditions along emergency shoulder routes as residents evacuate, and it is said although heavy and slow, traffic is still flowing and moving as intended. See, they cannot stop us, dear brothers and sisters. As many evacuations head north into Georgia through Atlanta, Peach Pass, the state's electronic toll system, is also making traffic changes to assist the overflow of traffic, shifting some of its southbound lanes into northbound lanes, the toll authority said Monday. Available hotels are hard to find. For those leaving their homes, alternative accommodations in hotels or rental properties is turning out to be costly and difficult to find, as many are at capacity. The Florida-based hotel group Rosen Hotels and Resorts activated its Florida resident distress rates for those in need of a place to stay in other parts of the state. Meanwhile, cities as far as 400 miles north, such as Dothan, Alabama, have reported no vacancy at their area hotels. Expedia, Priceline, and vacation rental sites Vrbo activated emergency policies for travelers whose vacation plans will be affected by Hurricane Milton, according to their sites. For campers or recreational vehicle owners looking for a safe place to travel to, Atlanta Motor Speedway is opening its campgrounds to the hundreds of thousands of people evacuating their Florida homes. It's providing dry camping with no water or electricity hookups, free of charge in its Legends Premium Campground for RVs and Legends Tent Campground for pop-up campers and tents, Executive Vice President and General Manager Brandon Hutchinson said in a news release. We have hundreds of acres of campgrounds, and opening up our facility is an easy choice to make. If you're in Milton's path and looking for a place to stay, we're here for you. Located 30 miles south of Atlanta and Hampton, Georgia, the Speedway is making campgrounds freely available to evacuees for RV and tents, providing access to shower facilities in collaboration with the Henry County Emergency Management Agency. The campgrounds hosted evacuees during previous hurricanes included Irma in 2017, Florence in 2018, and Idalia last year, the Speedway says. Gas stations are running out of fuel. Further complicating the evacuation process is demand for gas. The state of Florida is trying to keep gas stations supplied as people try to fill up before hitting the road. Others who decide to ride out the severe weather at home are also crowding the pumps, filling gas tanks to power their generators if they lose electricity for an extended period of time. Hold on, I gotta do some mod work. Boom. Sorry about that. Okay. Lines at gas stations have been long, DeSantis acknowledged Tuesday during a news conference. Gas stations are running out quicker than they otherwise would, and gas price tracking service GasBuddy reported that as of Tuesday afternoon, 17.4% of gas stations statewide were without fuel, a dramatic spike from just 3% on Monday. The situation was far worse in areas facing mandatory evacuation orders. In Fort Myers, on the state's Gulf Coast, 70% of stations were without gas as of Monday night. To help combat those shortages, the state is distributing fuel from its own reserves, which include more than 100,000 gallons of gasoline. An additional 1.2 million gallons of gasoline and diesel are en route to the state, the governor said, noting the Florida Highway Patrol escorted 27 fuel trucks to deliver fuel to stations in the anticipated impact area of the storm. Okay. Memes off. I'm turning off the satire now. Wink. Gang, that that stuff I was saying at the beginning, there is a substantial group of people who actually believe it. There is a substantial group of people who actually and actively believe that bullshit. Prove it. What do you mean prove it? We went through tweets with thousands of likes. Cacophony, are you still in chat? I can get one on right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is something that not every Republican believes, not every right-winger believes, not every person believes, but there's enough to be worrisome. They believe this is true. Thousands and thousands of people believe that we are creating a storm, that the Democrats are somehow responsible for this. That's insane. And people are saying, well, what about cloud seeding? Do you know what cloud seeding is? Do you know the efficacy rates of cloud seeding? Very low. Studies have been done on this. It's not very effective, gang. They're mixed results at best. At best. There is no real hard evidence that we can control the weather. We can't. We can't. We can somewhat influence it in very niche conditions, maybe. But no. We aren't having hurricane machines out there making up hurricanes that we can direct. That's literally insanity. Like, you need to, I don't know, that's psychopathic shit. Or schizophrenic shit. It is. If you believe that we have a machine that can conjure up a hurricane, or if we have technology that can direct and strengthen a hurricane, you're insane. You've drunk the Kool-Aid, you've been brainwashed, you're on drugs, I don't know. But that's nuts. Cacophony says, the DoD 1997 briefings say others are engaging even in eco type of terrorism whereby they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves. What eruption, what earthquake has been caused by electromagnetic waves done by a government or a terrorist group? Name one. No, I'm asking you. You're making the claim that they're doing this. When? Where? You don't know. Of course you don't. $5 from Zephyrash. If we can build blenders, a hurricane machine is just a big blender. It's not a big blender. Look, they've done research into these kinds of things. They have. They've done research because that's what science is. You test these things, you check these things, you look into see what happens. Here, I'll read you. This is from the Hurricane Research Division, the Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory. Okay? There's a quote from them. I'll read it to you, dear viewer. The American Meteorological Society policy statement on planned and inadvertent weather modification dated October 2nd, 1998, indicates there is no sound physical hypothesis for the modification of hurricanes, tornadoes, or damaging winds in general, and no related scientific experimentation has been conducted in the past 20 years. In the absence of a sound hypothesis, no federal agencies are presently doing or planning research on hurricane modification. They take cacophonies. They may have done research at some point, but they abandoned that research because it wasn't working. Yes, Operation Stormfront. They've tried these Storm Fury. I'm sorry. They've tried these things. They don't work, and they get abandoned. No FX Live says, wait, man-made climate change is exactly that, changing the weather modification, man-made. No, climate changes because of man-made actions. We put more carbon emissions into the air, and it changes the climate, which results in more chaotic weather or more intense extreme weather conditions, different weather conditions. That is a far cry from a hurricane machine or a tornado generator, right? Or cloud seeding a hurricane to strengthen it. We can't do that. It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi shit. Rabbit Wombat says they abandoned talking about it publicly, maybe because it was working. No. There's no... Oh, God. I don't know what to do with you. If you in your heart of hearts truly believe that the government is controlling the weather, I don't know how to reach you. Okay? Look, this isn't unique to Twitch poll either. When I was in the service, okay, I served in McConnell, which is in Kansas, Tornado Alley. Okay, I served there for a while. One of the people I worked with, one of the other airmen, believed, like, he genuinely believed this, that McConnell had a tornado repellent device, which would keep the tornadoes away from the base. He literally believed that. He said, and he would use as evidence, well, we haven't been hit by a hurricane or a tornado, and this is Tornado Ally, and yet they never hit the base. So obviously we have some sort of tornado shield or tornado weather control device. What do you do with that? Like, how am I supposed to, like, no. There's no evidence that we do. And tornadoes have hit the airbase before and have come very close. And we have had weather events disrupt our flights, disrupt our activities, disrupt all of this. So I just don't know how to talk to these people. And again, people point to cloud seeding. Cloud seeding isn't very effective. It doesn't really work. It kind of does in very specific circumstances. But you can't create or chase away clouds. We use cloud weather technology against Cuba. Is that your claim? And we used it against North Korea. Okay. Look, and Hitler used dark occult rituals against the Allied forces. He tried. He did. This is documented. That's a fact. He tried to use dark occult rituals in order to strengthen his war efforts. Do you guys think that was effective? I don't know what to do with you. Oh my God. again, part of innovation, part of conducting scientific research is exploring possibilities. And sure, Portland is Burning says, you don't realize you're defeating your own argument. Fairy Queen says, thank you for covering this. Fairy Queen, you're not one of those who believes that this is a man-made thing, are you? This is what I'm dealing with right now. I'm trying to decide how, because I don't know. I'm ignorant on here. I don't know how to reach people who really truly believe that this hurricane has been created by the government or by forces within the government. Can I just get a sanity check here, okay? If you believe that, hit 1. Hit 1 in chat if you think, no, for real, and don't fuck with me here. If you think that the Hurricane Milton is man-made, hit 1 in my chat. Yes, Fairy Queen, we've gone through this. That there are people who believe that the government can or the military, someone can control the weather. You're saying that no one's believing that. I wish I had your faith, Fairy Queen. I wish I believe. Like, I wish. I don't anymore, though. I've seen too much. I've read too many people. I've talked to too many people who, again, even before I started streaming, I told you just now about this guy I worked with in the military who believed we had a tornado repellent machine, a tornado shield. I know it's nonsense. I agree. But there are people who believe that it is true. And I'm trying to figure out. Cacophony's evidence is Castro even said that the CIA used weather tech against them. Oh, if Castro said it. Okay. Well, sorry I ever doubted. Sorry I ever doubted you. If we had weather tech, we'd be using it in a whole host of ways that we just aren't. There would never be a drought again. And if there was flooding, we'd stop it. Especially if it was flooding that was interrupting our commerce. Why wouldn't we, Cacophonies? Well, to what end would we not? Zephyrhash says, to implement weather tech, the conditions need to be right in the area. I mean, again, cloud seeding works in very specific conditions, in very minimal ways. And even then, there's some evidence that it just doesn't work at all, right? Oh. Okay, okay, let's read on cloud seeding because obviously I have to. Give me a second. We're going to go to Wikipedia. We're going to look up cloud seeding. We're going to read the article. Oh my God. You guys making me do this. I hate you. You guys better give me money. Here we go. You guys read that? Is it big enough? So this is from Wikipedia. Unbiased sources we're going to get on this. The neutrality is disputed. The need citation for verification. Multiple issues in the article. Keep that in mind. Cloud seeding is a type of weather modification that aims to change the amount or type of precipitation, mitigate hail, or disperse fog. The usual objective is to increase rain or snow, either for its own sake or to prevent precipitation from occurring in days afterwards. So, in other words, you either want it to rain sooner than it would naturally, or you want to get rid of the rain in the atmosphere now so you can have a dry spell afterwards. That's the goal. That's the aim. Okay. Cloud seeding is undertaken by dispersing substances in the air that serves as cloud condensation or ice nuclei. Common agents include silver iodide, potassium iodide, and dry ice, with hygroscopic materials like table salt gaining popularity due to their ability to attract moisture. Techniques can vary from static seeding, which encourages ice particle formation in supercooled clouds to increase precipitation, to dynamic seeding, designed to enhance convective cloud development through the release of latent heat. Methods of dispersion include aircraft and ground-based generators, with newer approaches involving drones delivering electric charges to stimulate rainfall, or infrared laser pulses aimed at inducing particle formation. Despite decades of research and application, cloud seeding's effectiveness remains a subject of debate among scientists, with studies offering mixed results on its impact or on precipitation enhancement. Some studies suggest it is difficult to show clearly that cloud seeding has a very large effect. Yes! No shit, Sherlock. Okay? Let's keep going. Environmental and health impacts are considered minimal due to the low concentrations of substances used, but concerns persist over the potential accumulation of seeding agents in sensitive ecosystems. The practice has a long history, with initial experiments dating back to the 1940s, and it has been used for various purposes, including agricultural benefits, water supply augmentation, and event planning. Legal frameworks primarily focus on prohibiting the military or hostile use of weather modification techniques, leaving the ownership and regulation of cloud seeding activities to national discretion. Despite skepticism and debate over its efficacy and environmental impact, cloud seeding continues to be explored and applied in regions worldwide as a tool of weather modification. Gang. Again, there are some things that we do as a species or as cultures that aren't the best practice, okay? Cloud seeding is a thing that we try on occasion, but again, there's mixed evidence that it even does anything, right? That it there's mixed evidence to suggest that it might not do much at all. Is there some efficacy? Maybe. But again, let's even grant, and again, the science is mixed on this, I want to be clear, but let's grant that it's just super effective. It's a far cry from creating a hurricane. It's using existing clouds, okay, and making them rain sooner. It's not making a cloud. Chemtrails. Do you know what oh, come on. Oh my God, cacophony. You're going to send me down these rabbit holes. What do you think chemtrails are? Oh, wait. Do you think that we're dispersing chemicals in planes and stuff? Do you think that's what's happening? $2 from Blocky Blah. Going to Wikipedia to prove a point. Sus. Bread on Day says chemtrails are when a girl and a okay, no, I'm not gonna read that. Cacophony says chemtrails is cloud seeding. Yes, it's not for controlling people like crazy people say. A-Team Frostback says chemtrails different day. Answer my question. What is your question? No, I've always said cloud seeding exists, but its efficacy is disputed. Rapid Wombat says chemtrails are trails of chems we've put in the air to descend upon people for various purposes. Again, there are people who claim that cloud seeding is super effective. Okay, Frozen Knight says, Wick TV, the thing you don't know is that the government trains secret airbenders. These agents sit in the heart of storms to make them worse. No, that's conspiracy theory bullshit. Everyone knows that it's done through 5G towers, that they have the blood of Trump patriots that are being siphoned out into the air. That's the true mystery here. Okay. 18 Frostback says, I agree, no making hurricanes, but that sounded like it could grow into the size of hurricanes. What sounded like that? What did I say or what did I read that sounded to you like it could grow into the size of a hurricane? And remember, hurricanes aren't just large clouds. Hurricanes are far more complex than just a large cloud. Jenny Burns, but Wick TV, have you considered chat's God-given right to be fucking stupid? Look, free speech has a price. I'm willing to pay it. Oh, you saying that there's chemicals added into the atmosphere to grow the size of a hurricane? Again, even if let's look at cloud seeding. Cloud seeding doesn't grow the size of anything. What it does is it gets moisture to fall quicker. It condenses them together to fall quicker. It doesn't create more or reduce it. It simply speeds up the process. It's not putting moisture into the air or taking it away. Alzerian says, I watch Twisters. I know what it does. Do you? Portland is burning for $5. You're doing great work. More instructions will follow. Thank you for your compliance. The Juminati is pleased. Nerdy Rodent says, maybe you could inject sunlight directly into the path of the oncoming wind. IMT says, 10 nuclear subs superheating the ocean water while driving in a circle. Look, these are cool stories. They're cool sci-fi ideas, but they don't. That's just not how the world works, unfortunately. Look, if we could control weather, I'd love to do that, but we can't. Brighton Nunday says, I don't know. Kamala did send me, what did you say? Chat scrolling too fast. I know Kamala did send me an email requesting campaign donations for something non-specific recently. It had to be the hurricane. But yeah, there's people who believe that the FEMA is assassinating people. There are people who really believe that. I don't know what to do. Are there any of my viewers, let's change tack a little bit. Are there any of my viewers with family in Florida or who live in Florida? What do you guys need? What do you guys need from me coming up? I know that some people have stubborn family members. Okay. Some people have stubborn family members who just won't evacuate. Do you need something from me to help convince them? Is there anything I can do? If you have maybe an uncle or a mom or a dad who's in the path of this hurricane, who is just kind of shrugging their shoulders at it, not taking it seriously. Link says extended family near Orlando and Cape Canaveral, so probably okay. Yeah, so if they're on the East Coast, there's still tornadoes that might be spawned. It's still going to be a hurricane, right? But it's far less dangerous than those who are in the actual path. Let's look it up. Let's actually look it up right now. Let's look at where are the areas in Florida that are under evacuation order. We will do an actual, some actual helpful news here. First of all, if you're watching my show and you're in Florida, maybe take this time, especially if you're in one of these counties, to turn off the stream and get the fuck out of Florida. That would be a better use of your time right now, honestly. You can watch me after, right? But I don't have enough viewers to sacrifice to the storm, okay? So be safe. Let's look. Okay, here we are. These are the evacuations in Tampa Bay area counties under mandatory evacuation orders due to Hurricane Milton. So if you live in one of these counties, or you know of anyone who does live in one of these counties, please make sure that they get the fuck out. Okay? I'm not kidding. This isn't a meme. This isn't a joke. This isn't me being funny. You need to leave immediately. Okay? You need to leave immediately. Pack your shit and get out. Okay, as Tampa Bay region in Florida continues its recovery from Helene, another storm bringing the Gulf of Mexico as a potential bad of the area. Okay, let's look at these. Here's a list of latest evacuation orders for Milton. The list will be updated as new information is released. If you live in Citrus County, a mandatory evacuation is in order for all residents of Citrus County residing in campers, mobile homes, manufactured homes, or any structure not capable of withstanding sustained winds of up to 110 miles per hour. And that evacuation order was issued starting on 8 a.m. on Tuesday. So if you haven't yet started, get it done, ladies and gentlemen. Get it done. No evacuation orders for Hardee County. For Hernando County, there are mandatory evacuations have been issued for all areas west of US 19, which includes zones A, B, and C. All residents living in coastal and low-lying areas, as well as manufactured homes countywide, are included. The evacuation order takes effect starting 8 a.m. Tuesday, which is today. Again, if you live in Hernando County, for all areas west of US 19, including zones A, B, and C, get the fuck out. If you live in a manufactured home and anywhere in the county, get the fuck out. Leave. The best time to leave was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Do not stay in these areas. I'm not kidding. This is my serious face. Don't do it. Don't fucking stay. Don't think you're some He-Man hero bullshit. Get out. Leave. Highlands County, no evacuation orders at this time. Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County leaders have issued mandatory evacuations for zones A and B. For those who live in manufactured homes, you'll have to evacuate regardless of where you are in the county. The evacuation takes effect on Monday. So again, 2:30 on Monday, October 7th, you were ordered to evacuate. Why haven't you yet? This is Hillsborough County, zones A and B, and anyone countywide who lives in a manufactured home. We're gonna look at that soon, Bright. We're gonna look at this soon, but let's get through these before I want to go through all of them. Manatee County. Manatee County emergency managers have called for evacuations of all persons in levels A, B, and C. All residents or visitors in RVs or mobile homes also should evacuate beginning at 2 p.m. on Monday. We do not issue evacuation orders lightly. Manatee County Public Safety Director Jody Fisk said in a news release. Milton is anticipated to cause more storm surge than Helene. So, if you stayed during Helene and got lucky, I would not press my luck with this particular system. So again, if you live in Manatee County and you are in an RV or mobile home, you need to have been evacuated. You need to go. Go now. If you live in levels A, B, or C, go now. Leave. Pasco County. Pasco County government announced a mandatory evacuations for zone A, B, and C. And if you live in manufactured homes, mobile homes, or an RV, mandatory evacuation zones include low-lying areas and flood-prone areas. And you can find which zone you live in if you live in Pasco County. So if you're watching and you're in Florida and you live in Pasco County, check to see what zone you're in. And if you're in any of the zones, or if you live in an RV, manufactured home, or mobile home, get out. Leave. Pinellas County. A mandatory evacuation was issued for all residents in evacuation zones A, B, and C, and all mobile homes beginning at 7 p.m. Monday. The barrier islands will close at 7 p.m. Tuesday. The area will be restricted to residents, business owners, and employees. Re-entry permits or other documentation will be required to enter. Again, Pinellas County. If you're in Pinellas County, get out. Anna Maria. Anna Maria Island is under a mandatory evacuation starting noon on Monday, October 7th, leaders said Sunday morning. In a Facebook post, the city said a mandatory evacuation of the island will be ordered at noon tomorrow. If you're on Anna Maria Island, don't be. Leave. Polk County, no evacuation orders issued. Sarasota County. Sarasota County is calling for mandatory evacuations to zones A, B, and C ahead of Hurricane Milton. Regardless of where you live in the county, if you're in a manufactured home or houseboat, you must leave. If you live in level A or B, a manufactured home, community, or mobile or boat home, now is the time to implement your plan, whether it's staying with a family member or friend in a different level or leaving the area. If you plan to leave the area, do so now. Milton formed in the Gulf on Saturday and intensified into a hurricane as it heads for the west coast of Florida. The National Hurricane Center announced that their NOAA Hurricane Center Hunter aircraft finds a stronger Milton. Florida could see impacts beginning Wednesday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for 35 counties in Florida as forecasts show Milton tracking toward the Sunshine State's west coast. This includes all of the Tampa Bay region. So again, if you're in Sarasota County, if you live in those zones, get out. Leave. That looks like all of them for Tampa area. Okay. Before I do my searches, let me switch cams here. Can you guys not hear me? On YouTube, are you guys having issues hearing me? Sound is cutting in and out for me. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, when is Milton expected to make landfall? Okay, let's look. Boom. What we know about Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton, which forecasters say is an extremely powerful hurricane, is expected to roar into Florida tomorrow. With the threat of back-to-back hurricanes looming in the parts of the state, crews are scrambling to haul away Hurricane Helene's debris before Milton makes landfall. Milton appears headed for Tampa, where the National Hurricane Center is warning of up to 15 feet of storm surge. Okay? That's 3 destinies stacked upon each other, okay? 3 destinies. Okay, that's pretty big. At 5 p.m. Eastern, the storm was about 480 miles southwest of Tampa, which sustained winds of 165 miles per hour, making it once again a Category 5 storm, the highest rating. With emergencies declared in dozens of Florida counties and evacuations underway, residents have clogged highways and interstates as they make their way out of the storm's path. I don't care about the other stuff, but keep looking. It's not telling me exactly when it's going to make landfall. I'm looking. On Wednesday night. Let's see. Sorry, gang. I'm just reading through this. There's a bunch of stuff I don't need to know. I don't care about NBC's weather prediction. Blah blah blah. Okay, so when it makes landfall, the tropical storm force winds will extend about 230 miles outward from its center. That's enough to cover the entire width of the state's peninsula. Okay, pretty crazy. It's going on Wednesday. Oh, here, let me show you guys the map here. Okay. Here's the map. You can see the times. So Wednesday, 2 a.m. Eastern, it's gonna be here. 2 p.m. Central Time, or Eastern Time, I should say. It's gonna be here. Thursday, 2 a.m. Eastern. So Wednesday night, yeah, Thursday morning, Wednesday night. It's gonna touch down and make landfall. So you still have time to get out. If you leave now, still have time to get out. Please do so. Do take these things seriously. Do take these things as a real threat that they are. Because they are. They are a real threat. And remember, this is a prediction. It's a forecast. It can change. Okay, let's see. You guys were hearing me? Good. Okay, gang. Does anyone want to call in? Anyone do anything? You guys have any thoughts? Any opinions? I think I've run out of content for right now, at least on the storms. I want to make sure that you all know that there are ways to get help if you need help. Please listen to your state's evacuation orders, follow the evacuation routes and paths. Make sure you have supplies. If you're staying in place, if you're not in the direct path of the storm, if you're not in a county that has an evacuation order, please make sure that you have enough food, water to last a while. Make sure it won't spoil. Expect your electricity to go out for weeks, if not days. Right? Days, if not weeks. Okay, let me look. Give me a second. With that, we're going to call it... Can you guys not hear me? Man, everyone left on YouTube. You guys, some of you started reporting technical issues, and then you all left. Well, is what it is. Sorry, it's having troubles. I don't know why we're having some technical issues. It's those damned hurricanes clogging up the airways. Let's just end the stream, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to have Joe Lewis. He's going to be debating Econoboy on whether or not there is an actual difference between Republicans and Democrats in their governance. So check us out, 6 p.m. Eastern, Thursday. Stay safe. Be good. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.